Hello, dear viewer. I just got out of watching Captain Marvel, and I'm here to talk about it. So, Captain Marvel is about... just got back from Captain Marvel, and I'm here to talk about it. So, dear viewer, Captain Marvel is about a person doesn't actually go by the name Captain Marvel throughout the whole movie. Captain Marvel is a movie, and so is The Room, and The Last Jedi, and it's about, So I just saw Captain Marvel, and it's a movie about... Well, it's a movie, a Marvel movie, so you know that must make it good, right? Captain Marvel is about a cat named Goose and Samuel L. Jackson. No idea where the Captain Marvel fits in or why there are green aliens. Hello, dear viewer. I've been trying a while now to start this review, and I've been trying to think of the right way to say things and summarize the movie of Captain Marvel, which is a movie. It's called Captain Marvel, and it's about a person who will eventually go by the name Captain Marvel. And I am doing this review while I'm driving a car, which is safe. Totally safe. Nothing will happen at all. So Captain Marvel is a movie. So right off the bat, I can tell you that the plot of Captain Marvel, I don't know it. I literally stopped maybe 3/4 of the way into this movie, and I just thought to myself, what's going on again? What was the point of this movie? Okay, we have these shape-shifting creatures called Skrulls that undermine the entire Marvel universe, or at least the heroes here on Earth. And they're at war with another race of aliens. Well, I won't even call them a race. It's more like a UN of aliens called the Kree. But it's not just the Kree. You have like humans or human-esque people, or that one dude from Guardians of the Galaxy, and Carol Danvers. And the movie itself, what did happen is a big problem when your movie, you can't really remember what the hell happened. A lot going on, a lot of mumbling, a lot of... So you can't really understand what's going on, or who's talking to who, or what they're saying. I'm putting it in the same category as every other MCU film. I won't say it's bad, but it's worse. You see, in my line of movies, when it comes to rating things, there's good, there's bad, and there's bland. Naturally, people will think, oh, a bad movie is the worst you can get. No. A bad movie, at least, is memorable. A bland movie is forgettable. There's no ounce of it that you can remember, or the story, or the characters. And while I'm not saying Captain Marvel, the movie, is entirely bland, because the cat and Nick Fury, and maybe one scene, the rest of it is just like, it goes by like boom, 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 and you just don't get a sense of what the hell's going on. And that's a big problem. And I've been saying this for a while when it comes to Marvel movies. Sure, they're not bad, but they're hella forgettable. They are forgettable. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Ant-Man, forgettable. Without some ounce of saving grace, these movies, they don't give you a lasting impact. There's nothing quotable, there's nothing recitable, there's nothing for me to latch onto these movies. Black Panther, forgettable. Black Panther, forgettable. And I know there's a lot of politics going behind this movie, especially because of the whole Brie Larson thing. And if that's why you want to hate this movie, power to you. I don't see like Brie Larson as being the problem here. I think it's just, in my opinion, my personal opinion, it's just another movie. It's just another Marvel movie. It's just another Avenger or MCU film. Nothing really stood out, except for maybe one scene where they're probing her mind, which I thought was pretty cool. How they're like, hey, hold on, slow it, rewind. I didn't get a good look at that. I thought that was great. And give me more of that. I think that scene worked perfectly in context to this story. I thought the cat was awesome, Goose. And I thought Sam Jackson was great. The Skrull, they're alright, in my opinion. They were just like, eh. You think that, oh, the Skrull are the bad guys, or is this or that, and it's just like, you can kind of see where they're, like, how this story is going to end a mile away. What can I say? It's just, it's like a, it's like a bottle of water. It really leaves no flavor. It has no taste. It has no flavor. It has nothing. It's just tasteless. Nothing for you to remember unless it's a bottle of Dasani water or Aquafina, in which case you're just like, did I just drink change? And a lot of people are like, oh, this is the feminist movie we all need. Whatever happened to Wonder Woman? You know, I thought Wonder Woman did that job a lot better than this film. Because here, you could clearly tell there were feminist moments in it. Like the stuff you see in the trailers, yeah, that's all here, but not a lot of like stuff to actually latch onto. And it's not Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman as a feminist movie did a better job, in my opinion, because it was subtle. They weren't trying to make this like, oh yeah, this is women's time. And granted, I'm not a woman. I don't know what they rallied behind. But as a movie, between the two, I thought Wonder Woman was clearly superior. And if you wanted to see like what Wonder Woman would be like with Superman powers, I guess that's what this movie would have been like. What Captain Marvel is just like Wonder Woman with like lasers and photon blasts and flying. But it just, a lot of stuff, but it doesn't amount to anything in the end. It just, you start somewhere and you're just left off at, eh. But what can I say about it? I mean, it's from the same studio that brought you the Thor movies, Iron Man 3. Heck, I would even say that the first Thor movie was better than this one because it at least had some character and some kind of charm. It wasn't like this cluster of like all sorts of things going on, because that's a lot of what happened in this. There's a lot of stuff going on and you just really can't tell what's going on. I'm pretty sure I botched that in English. But what I'm not saying that this is a bad movie. To the right audience, is good, I guess. Much in the same way every Marvel movie is a good film. But it's just much in the same way. I'm not saying that this is a bad movie by Marvel's standards, but that doesn't really mean a lot for coming from me, because I'm just like, I'm done with Marvel right now. It's boring. And that's what this movie was. It was just boring. There's no, like, depth. It doesn't really leave a lasting impression on you. It just makes me want to go, like, meh. Did I eat something? Like, did it just, like, it came and gone, and it's just left no impact. And again, maybe this is something that people enjoy in their films. Maybe they will enjoy having all this action, and I can tell that this is a movie that's supposed to, like, rally maybe the youth of America or something like that. But I just did not, I won't remember it. Granted, if I watch enough clips of certain things, like, I'll remember it, but at some point, until then, it's just like, it's just another movie. Nothing stuck with me. It's forgettable. It's a safe but forgettable mess. And this is what I've come to expect from Marvel now. And if that's what you want in your movies, power to you. But for me, there's a reason why I'm not going as far as to say boycott Disney. Well, I hate Disney, but it's just, there's nothing new here. There's nothing of substance. It's like Green Lantern meets Wonder Woman. I guess I could talk about, like, the things in relationship to comics, in which case I will say that the Skrull looked good. They looked like aliens, but one of the things that really took me out of it was, like, all these different accents of the Skrull, because I always imagined, like, the Skrull talking like this, they're just like these reptilian things, and when you hear, like, the surrealness of, oh yeah, I'm a Skrull, yeah, you're just like, what? I mean, granted, not every alien would probably sound alike, but I was expecting, like, some difference, or like some kind of accent or something to make these Skrulls seem alien more than just their looks, because they just seemed like people in costume, almost. I guess that's the best way I can say it. It's like the Skrull just felt like people in costume. There was nothing really foreign or alien about them, because they all seem to have their own needs, their own wants, but they're also the same, like, as every other human in existence or every form of life. And it didn't sink in. Like, okay, why do the Kree want to wipe out the Skrull? Well, because they don't want to agree with us. Okay, why is that? I mean, in the comics, the Skrull, like, they're an empire, and they have an empress, and there's, like, this whole sub-genre, like, category of, like, Skrull culture and ways of life, and you see none of that here. You don't see anything that hints at why this race would say no to whatever the Kree are trying to sell them. It's like, maybe if it was an affront to their culture, yes, that would make a lot of sense, but as it stands, it's just like the whole backstory is like, oh, it's us versus them. Okay, why? Because it's us versus them. And it just, like, that's how I feel like most of the movie felt. It's like, it's just because. Well, we're at war because why? They just don't agree with you? Newsflash, there's over 1 billion people on this planet. Just because we don't agree with everybody doesn't mean we have to systematically wipe them out. I'm looking at you, the rest of the world. Though that's what we have been doing for God knows how long. But that's just my opinion. The movie is just nothing really to latch onto, nothing really worth remembering except for a cat and Nick Fury and maybe 1 or 2 scenes. And as much as I badmouth Disney, this is why I don't want the X-Men or the Fantastic Four to go to Disney, to go to the MCU, because while the X-Men movies have had their ups and downs, at least they're memorable. At least there's something you can recall, or something that you can poke fun at, or just be like, yeah, that's what that happened, but at least it had its own identity. It wasn't like it didn't get lost with everything else. But when it comes to the MCU, like the first phase of Avengers movies and Guardians of the Galaxy, they were great. And then they just like became the same thing over and 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 over. So in summary, Captain Marvel is a movie about